Hey guys, Nick here, and welcome to the Omniverse of Nick and the next Walking Dead story. What if Dwayne The Rock Johnson was in The Walking Dead? Before we get started, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the Omniverse of Nick, and further acknowledge and support the future of the Omniverse by checking out the Discord, Patreon, and both Google Docs on the homepage, as well as commenting future requests and expectations for this year and in the future. With all that said, let's get started. So, as I said, this is what if The Rock, hashtag Dwayne The Rock Johnson, was in The Walking Dead. Now, near the start of this channel, for maybe the two of you that are still around that actually saw that video, come back, because back during the start of my channel, I made John Cena in The Walking Dead and thought about a remake with him heel, but it really wouldn't matter because that one was an analysis, never meant to be a story. This one, as well as half the crossovers that I've ever done or planned and will plan, are actually going to lead to stories. Hashtag Negan and Jason, which is coming up real soon. But anyways, I did that video, and that remains to be, with the Jason one, which is actually finally getting a story, one of the oldest videos on the channel. And honestly, now with John Cena heel and leaving the company, should get a lot more recognition, especially after this video. But anyways, we are touching upon the final boss, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and if he was in The Walking Dead. And this one, I don't know why, but maybe it's because it's years later and I'm actually way more into wrestling, but I could think of a million better ways to make the John Cena one better. But honestly, it's best left as it is, honestly. It would just be the same analysis all over again, except with more energy. And this one isn't even down to that. It's freaking The Rock. There's definitely going to be way more to unpack here. So, there are 5 ways that we're going to touch upon how The Rock is in The Walking Dead. Number 1, his location, where he grew up, where he lives, etc. Number 2, which group in The Walking Dead he would be with. Number 3, which weapons he would hold or mostly have during the entire Walking Dead. Number 4, where he would fit into the Walking Dead story, and so forth. How he would connect with the Walking Dead universe. Not the group is one thing, but this is how he would truly be like if he were inclined in to the Walking Dead universe. And number 5, who would be a match for him, who would equal him, and who would most likely stand the chance of beating him. Now, number 1, where he would be living. Since the bombing of Los Angeles was right where close to a part of Los Angeles that The Rock came from or lives, he would most likely fit into the Fear the Walking Dead story and center after the bombs blew it all up. So bringing it in The Rock to that point afterwards would not only be like the 1,000,000-star rating for Fear the Walking Dead's climb, but be the ultimate way to introduce him in. He wouldn't be the final boss yet. Far from it. But still, Dwayne The Rock Johnson in the flesh, this would be the perfect chance, even if he was farther away from the bombing, to fold him into the story. And this is literally the best way to incorporate him into The Walking Dead. Number 2, which group he would be in. As I said, since he's going by where he lives, it would be part of the Fear the Walking Dead storyline, and Madison or Walker's group, which I'm going to get to later. This is all connected. These aren't just rash little throwouts. I'm gearing up for something. But just know, Fear the Walking Dead, Los Angeles, The Rock goes on his own, group would be Madison's or Walker's. I'm going to get to that. Number 3, which weapons he would hold overall. Which any melee weapon would do. But, and this is an epic freaking AI analyzation, by the way, we could definitely see him hold Lucille. Come on. The Rock with Lucille, that he would have made, like, Negan. He would have made, I'm sorry, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, but he would have made you look like a joke. Because, think about it. Dwayne The Rock Johnson coming out with the bat, oh my god. The Walking Dead would have blew up thousands, millions more. Or, I'm sorry, millions and millions more so. Had to add a little Rock line there. And as for guns, we know all the movies that The Rock has been in. We've seen him hold every firearm you could possibly imagine. So any firearm in The Walking Dead is not out of The Rock's reach. And honestly, with The Walking Dead's add-ons of fan-made weapons, we could definitely see him add his own twist, and Dwayne want to add his own twist into his own fan-made weapons. And Lucille would be a big part of that, I feel. Heck, he could have replaced Negan. Number 4, the story. Where he would fit into the story. That's where we're going to get into the main part of what I'm gearing up towards. As I said, Madison or Walker. Now you might be wondering why I said that, why parts of this analysis seem a little bit rushed, and why him gearing with the whole, Los Angeles and being on his own thing would gear him towards the story where Madison and Walker are. Well, it's because the next story is Roman Reigns in The Walking Dead, being one of the stories that I teased at the beginning of this year. And you bet your gears that the final boss is showing up in that story. He might not be the main guy, but he is part of Roman Reigns' family. And Roman Reigns being the main in that story, pretty much being like the leader of Walker's, group, and The Rock being, part of the bloodline, he's definitely going to be in and mainly featured in the Roman Reigns What If. That's what's geared up for. And number 5, just to close off, who would be a match for The Rock and who would beat The Rock? Beta is one of the closest, obviously, but the Rock has dealt with much bigger opponents than Beta. It's really, no. He'd be a great match, but the Beta's far too slow and mainly goes for menacing and his size to kill his enemies. But he's not really that fast. He's fast, just not fast, more fast than The Rock. So yeah. Carver would be a great enemy for combat, but overall strength and durability, nah, The Rock has him beat there too. As for Negan, I've said millions of times over, in this What If and in general, that since we saw The Rock and Negan, or Jeffrey Dean, in the movie Rampage, and possibly other things, that we should have gotten more of their characters, Either The Rock joining Negan, or replacing him, or, being in the Walking Dead world and meeting him. The list goes on and on. But in a fight, The Rock solos him 1,000-fold. And as for the rest, well, that's kind of all to talk about. Just know that if the final boss, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, were in The Walking Dead, no amount of Rick no amount of anybody would save would save or try to beat this man who holds the millions and millions in the palm of his hand. And in the world of The Walking Dead, there's only so much that you can do when the final boss already knows you're not going to last long. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. So, in the end, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, the final boss, the biggest movie star of all time, he would be too great an asset for The Walking Dead. And not as much as John Wick, but still. His travail in The Walking Dead would be far more influential than John Cena. Then again, I could always do a remake of John Cena and put his heel mode in there, but I doubt that that would really take away from who John Cena is. So there's really no point in doing a remake, because I pretty much touched upon all of what I could there. Anyways, yeah. The Rock would be an amazingly overpowered asset. And once I do Roman Reigns in The Walking Dead, which is coming up here very, very soon. Very soon. Next list. I'm confirming that right now. As of this moment, as I'm done with this recording, that is confirmed to be the next one for Walking Dead crossovers, wrestlers, whatever the frick you want to call it. That will be the next one. He will be featured in a story, but The Rock will not be a key player, because even in Roman Reigns' story, he's not a key player. He would have been if Cody Rhodes didn't come at WrestleMania 40, but that's beside the point. That's for another what if. But anyways, with all that said, hopefully you guys liked this. Long time coming, another wrestler in The Walking Dead crossover since John Cena's. If you guys didn't check out John Cena's, it is a fairly old what if. It's like right near the start of the channel. But regardless, you guys will find that somewhat interesting. And that's the time around that I did the Jason Voorhees one also. And we all know what I'm about to gear up with that. With all that said, hopefully you guys liked The Rock in The Walking Dead. Stay tuned for Roman Reigns. And stay tuned for more on this list and continuing, because we're about to get even more epic from here on out. I'll see you guys later.